It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Living Daily, episode 1235, The Power of Daily Minimalism by Brian Gardner of NoSidebar.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Welcome to the podcast where I simply read blogs to you for free like a gigantic ongoing audiobook with many different authors. Today's post being from Brian Gardner, the creator of No Sidebar. It's a beautiful website. I'll keep this intro nice and short for this Monday episode, so let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. The Power of Daily Minimalism by Brian Gardner of NoSidebar.com. On the surface, the thought of being a minimalist seems quite simple. All you need to do is be frugal with your spending, live within your means, throw away or donate everything you don't need, and move into a tiny house. What I just described is a stereotype that many have placed upon minimalism for some time. I confess that I've been guilty of this mindset myself, and it got to a point where I judged folks who claimed to be minimalists. Ignorance is typically never a good thing, and in my case, it certainly wasn't. The problem with our society these days is that we have a tendency to judge on assumptions and misconceived notions. As I began to investigate the idea of minimalism, I quickly became intrigued because there was a part of me that resonated with the lifestyle I was looking into. The idea that less could be more and living without brings a life of joy was appealing to me. I came to the conclusion that while being a minimalist is partly what I described earlier, it's also more than that. In fact, it's a lot more than that. A couple of fellows known as the minimalists agree with me. Here's what they say, quote, "But people who dismiss minimalism as some sort of fad usually mention any of these restrictions as to why they could never be a minimalist. Minimalism isn't about any of those things, but it can help you accomplish them," end quote. They go further with a better explanation of what they think it means. Quote, "Minimalism is a tool to rid yourself of life's excess in favor of focusing on what's important so you can find happiness, fulfillment, and freedom," end quote. But just like working out and staying healthy, it's something that requires ongoing effort and a fundamental knowledge of how it should be maintained. We all have different living styles and needs within that, so for each of us, the idea of being a minimalist looks different. For some, that might mean purging a bunch of stuff from their lives, and for some, it might be just a slow progression of doing smaller things. Either way, this is a decision and a journey we should embark on daily rather than one time. Here are 5 things to consider that will help keep you on track. Number 1, practice thankfulness. Recent studies have shown that those of us who are regularly thankful and appreciative for the good in their lives are likely to be more physically active, feel more content in our day-to-day lives, and suffer less health problems. Once a day, spend 10 minutes writing down 5 to 10 people or acts or events or things you are grateful for, and just 1 sentence per entry is enough. Number 2, write down your goals. Why do you want to live a simpler life? What do you crave about it? You need to know the answers before you can make headway. What do you want from this change? Where do you feel the greatest need to slow down and simplify? What do you stand to gain? Write down your strengths and your weaknesses and try to identify what challenges you will face and what circumstances will make this process hard for you. Number 3, create white space in your home. White space allows us to highlight the breathing space in our surroundings, and it helps in fluid eye movement. It also gives an air of flexibility to the environment. Choose 1 surface, 1 wall, 1 shelf, the mantle, your bedside table, and declutter it to create white space. Remove everything from that 1 space. Wipe the surface clean and leave it completely empty. Number 4, give yourself quiet time or meditation. Quiet time and meditation brings perspective and peace and leaves you feeling grounded and well prepared for the day. Plunge in your immediate surroundings, actively think about what means the most to you, and treat yourself with some much needed me time so that you are better able to perform your daily tasks. It doesn't have to be more than 10 minutes per day. Just sit down at a quiet place and reflect. This will help put your mind at ease, and you'll be able to make informed decisions during the day. Number 5, unplug your digital devices. Unplug your laptops, smartphones, and tablets, and see how liberating that feels. You need time to think and create yourself, and while these tools can be vehemently helpful in this regard, their overuse may cut you off from your real life and make you believe that your virtual life is everything. So unplug your gadgets at least once a day for a small period of time and then extend that time period as your dependency on technology decreases. You just listened to the post titled The Power of Daily Minimalism by Brian Gardner of NoSidebar.com. And that's a perfect segue to mention that I'm doing a 30-day challenge with prizes for you. And the first challenge is related to minimalism. If you want to participate, make sure you're part of my free weekly newsletter at oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com. And I'll keep this outro nice and minimal for you today. Have a great start to your week, and I'll catch you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.